Hey guys, welcome back to another JavaScript tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to be explaining how to use random numbers in JavaScript. So random numbers are super useful when you just want to add some randomness into a program. So let's say you're creating a game, you could have some kind of thing which gives you a random item or anything really. They're used in a lot of algorithms as well, so it's useful to be able to generate random numbers. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that simply and effectively in JavaScript. Now, first thing I'm going to do is just show you the base random number generator. So to access this, all you have to do, let's just create our variable random number, and this is just going to be math.random. So what this returns is a random number between 0 and 1. So I'm not actually sure if that includes 0 and 1, but that's not actually important, as you'll find later. As you'll find out later. So yeah. If I just print this out, you can see, if I keep refreshing this, you can just see we get a bunch of random numbers always between 0 and 1. So on its own, that's not too useful, right? Like, you get a random number, but you probably want a random number as an integer, right? So it's pretty easy to do that. Let's say we want a random number between 0 and 3. Let's say those are our things, so that's inclusive. And yeah, the way to do this is pretty simple. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our random number we've generated up here, and then we're going to multiply it by our range. So in this case, this is just 3. So let's say const. What should I call this? Let's say let's just call this multiplied number, and this is just going to be a random number multiplied by the range, which is 3. So if we log this out, we should see now we get these multiplied by 3, right? And you can see getting a bunch of answers, sometimes in the 2, sometimes in the 3s. But yeah, now what you can do is we want to get this to a whole integer, so let's just say, and we just want to convert this to an integer, and the way to do that is pretty simple. We just use math.round, and we just supply in multiplied number, and yeah, now you can see we've got our random number generator. So you can see we've got things like this, and yeah, this seems pretty simple. The only thing I'm noticing is that we're not getting a bunch of zeros. Okay, there we go, we got 0. So yeah, that was pretty fine. We can actually work out the bounds to get 0. So to get 0, this would have to be lower than 0.5, and for that to happen, this would have to be lower than 0.17, something like that. So I assume that's not a completely equal chance, but that's not really the point, because all you're looking for is a random number, so the probability of getting each number is not too important. But yeah, you can see we're getting a bunch of random numbers now. So now I'm going to show you guys how to generalize this into a function, and we're going to be taking a range. So let's say we've got the lowest value number and the highest value, which is also a number, and this is going to return a number. So yeah, I'm going to be carrying out the same process we've got here. First we're going to get random number. Actually, the first thing we do is we need to find a range. So the range is just going to be the highest number minus the lowest number, right? Similar to what we did here. The reason we didn't do it in this one is because this went from 0 to 3. So in our case, this number here was the range, because 3 to 0, the range is 3. But yeah, so carrying out the same sort of process, let's get our random number here. Got math.random, then we're going to work out our multiplied number, and this is just going to be the random number multiplied by the range. And then finally we can convert this back to an integer using math.round, and we're going to round this here. So you might think our work's done, right? Let's just print this out, and then let's test this function, right? You might think our work's done because we've carried out steps, but what you didn't realize is that, and this links back to why I used a range. Let's say we want a random number between 5 and 9. So, Let me just stop logging these. Okay, so you can see what all we're getting is we're just getting a bunch of numbers between it should be between 0 and 4, right? And that's not what we want. What we actually want is I'm just going to keep going until I get 0. There we go. But yeah, that's not what we want, and the reason it's not what we want is because how this works. The reason we got the range was because you can't really just multiply this by the highest number, because that's going to give you a number in the range of that highest number. So if we multiply by 9, we get numbers all between 9 and 0. That's why we get the range, and then we have to increment this range onto this. Sorry, not this. We use this range to find the integer, and then we return the lowest plus the integer. So the max value of this is 4, the min value of this is 0, which is why our final thing goes from 5, because this is 5 plus 0, to 9, which is 5 plus 4, like so. That's how it works. I'm actually just going to put that in here, and yeah, that's how it works. So now we basically just generated our random number generator. So let's say we want a random number between 1340 and 2560. We should be able to get our random number just like that. So yeah, that's how you create random numbers. Obviously, if you want to create random floats, you can just do a similar sort of process. So let's say we want random number between 11.5 and 12.5. So to do this, what I'd probably do is I'd use this function. I just generate a random number between 115 and 125, and then I just divide it by 10, like that, and that generates our random floats as well. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in a future tutorial, and this is a function you can use if you want to create random numbers, random integers. See you guys in a future tutorial. Bye.